Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Nirmodon, and I'm going to be talking about school. And I know a lot of you guys might be like, ugh, that sounds extremely boring. How could this possibly go positive in one direction or another? And just hold in there. I'll do my best to make this entertaining. And I guess I don't really have the most experienced life in the world. Obviously, at 18, you're not like, oh, well, I'm 35 years old, and I've done this, I've accomplished this, I've actually got to take risks, and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of an archive, I guess you could say, but in my perspective, I've done some things in the past where you're like, yes, did awesome, and then you're like, I could have definitely made better decisions there, or at least I could have thought about the long-term effect this has instead of, hey, I didn't want to do this. And a lot of you guys, will experience that. Maybe some of you are too young to understand exactly what I'm talking about, but a majority of my viewer base is within that range where you know when you've messed up, you know what you've done. And you know things when you're like, yep, I totally just bombed or aced that test or did whatever you did that was either proud or depressing in that given moment, or maybe you just didn't care in an all-around general sense. But definitely, I guess we're just going to talk about this. I thought it would be interesting considering that I'm a senior and I'm approaching my midterm graduation party fiasco thing. I don't know. I'm not really having a party. I think that's kind of dumb in my opinion. But I'm also not doing a lot of things that the standard senior does. I'm definitely not having like a graduation party. I'm not having senior pictures because I just think that's kind of corny and stupid. But if you want to do that kind of stuff, that's awesome. Power to you. I wish I was in that perspective or that mindset. But personally, I just really don't care for that kind of stuff. I'm not much of a, I don't want to say a people person, but I'm not very social, I guess, in that perspective. I guess I just enjoy doing this internet stuff. It's because, one, you get different appearances that you don't get in real life. You get different conversations and perspectives that are more, I guess, in your favor, I guess I would say. They're usually not like, oh, well, this is really how it went, this is how the world was shaped, and blah, 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 if you want to go into that kind of era, but it's not really where I'm trying to get. In my mind, I like YouTube, I think it's fun, but in the school perspective, you get all kind of different appearances, personalities, all that kind of stuff that I'm just not too keen on, and there's a lot of fake people in the world, and, as much as people don't want to admit it, everyone has a little fake thing. We've all made lies before. We've all said we had stuff we didn't really have. We all had future objectives that maybe weren't exactly what we had perceived. And when you went back to elementary school, I presume all of you guys are far above that, hopefully, but in that way, definitely back in, elementary, things were so simple. If you liked somebody, you told them, and it usually worked out in your favor. Usually, not always, but a large majority of the time it did. And if you go back to the elementary standards of what was cool and what wasn't, it was so weird. You could dress however you wanted, but you could still be in the popular crew, or you could still be within a selected group, and back then there really weren't too many groups. I mean, you had usually the girls, you had the guys, and then you had people in the middle that just really enjoyed each other's presences, and just stuff like that. It wasn't so complicated as in today's, standards, like high school, for example. You have every freaking group you can possibly think of. Middle school, you kind of start getting that way. You're still like, hey, I know who you guys are, we went to school together, but, maybe you don't hang out with them as much as you used to, or maybe you don't see them, or whatever. And it's just crazy how things kind of separate, and the whole life change and appearances of high school just overtakes, the standard issue of life. It makes it seem so much more complicated than it actually is. And then when you kind of get your job, your financial standpoint in life, it's kind of like elementary school and high school mixed, so more or less middle school. Because in your work, you really don't have much of a choice. You more or less have to kind of like everybody because you have to communicate. It's all about business structure, stuff like that. But in the same perspective, you can definitely be like, yeah, no, I don't want to talk to that Billy guy. He's a little weird. He smells a little funny or something like that. And I don't know. I guess that's just kind of where I'm going. But definitely, it's crazy how, looking back on, my at least 12 years of school, because I'm more or less done. I mean, literally, I got, another week and a half left, and I'm pretty much done. And looking back, I mean, there's just things that you go through. You look through some of your life, your first Fs maybe, or your first lower grades. Maybe they're not an F. I've never gotten an F, but close enough. And you just kind of wonder, was it worth it? Was it worth not studying? Was it worth, studying too hard? Because going through elementary and middle school, oh my god, I was a huge tryhard. I cared for every single grade I got. I don't care how long it took me. I was finishing that test. I didn't give a crap what the teacher's recommendation time was. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to finish it if you like it or not. And I cared so much about grades. And looking back, was that worth it? yeah, it was worth it, because it made it who I am today. Maybe in high school I kind of dropped off and was like, I don't really care about grades anymore. They're kind of stupid and pointless. Not with that said, I'm definitely not saying, yo, don't try in high school. That would be stupid. That is how you fail at life. Don't do that. But in that perspective, you know, you gotta try things. You really gotta take risks every now and then. You know, like with YouTube, I've stayed with it for so long that it's just kind of a day-to-day thing. Like, I don't notice when I make videos anymore. It's like, oh, what did I do last week? Oh, well, I did the same thing I'm doing this week, making videos for you guys. I mean, anything you do is kind of taking a risk. I mean, if you wanted to not take risk, you would stay in your house all day. Even then, you're still taking a risk because you're still moving. But anyway, with that in mind, that's not the purpose I'm trying to get for the commentary. But definitely, looking back, like in high school, I wish I would have carried that over a lot better with that whole like really trying perspective, like actually trying to achieve like A's every single time. I definitely don't get F's, and I definitely don't get D's, but I've gotten a few C's in my life, and at the time, I really didn't care. I was like, close enough. But if I would have got A's, maybe that would have meant a better college or a better future. Maybe it would have translated into this more hard worker and an environment that actually requires that kind of stuff. And I'm definitely not trying to make you guys be like, oh, well, I don't try in high school. Is that bad? Or I don't try in middle school or whatever. And no, it's not bad. It's just you. I mean, if you literally try your best and try to accomplish what you're trying to get done, then definitely. Like, even if you are getting C's, that's not bad. A C is an average. That's average for anyone that goes to school, which is kind of crazy to think a C is an average, but it is. It's probably due to a lot of people not really caring, so you gotta really balance everybody out. But definitely, I don't know, I just made this commentary because I wanted to talk to you guys more or less like pretty much I'm done with school, and looking back, you kind of look upon memories and things, your first girlfriend, your first relationship, your first time taking a risk that wasn't really related to walking around the park or walking through your house or something. And, you kind of look back, you have memories of it. You really try to satisfy your old memories with your new memories and stuff that'll happen. Definitely there's a lot in store for me. I have a job that pays very, very, very well. And I'm looking forward to, making other jobs along the way, making jobs that are more entertaining to the entertainment industry along part with, what I do now. And again, that's all kind of like time-based, but, I thought I'd let you guys know about this when you guys get to where I'm at, or maybe you already got there and you're looking back as well. You guys will definitely look back in some of the memories that you thought were smart and intelligent decisions, maybe weren't the most intelligent in the world, and maybe some of the things that you thought were really stupid at the time maybe are a little bit more humorous than they were when the teacher or whoever was punishing you for, putting latex or something in the soup in the cafeteria. I don't know, whatever people do these days. Definitely, I mean, definitely I think it'll be pretty humorous when you guys look back, your first time doing really anything. And I guess that's where I'm trying to come from today. I guess that's kind of my appearance or my commentary for you guys, is just, enjoy the little things in life, because, eventually someday you'll be working those 40 hours a week and they just won't seem as fun as they used to. Now, with that said, definitely you'll still have fun things along the way. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully it was something entertaining. Hopefully you guys will look back and remember some funny things, even if you're in middle school or just beginning in high school or whatever. And I will definitely see you guys in the next installment of my videos that appear on channels and stuff like that. But definitely, until the next time, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next installment. Peace.